Hello everyone, welcome to the World Cup Countdown Show. This is Real Red Talk in tournament mode. We're 3 days away from kickoff in Qatar and we've got a lot to discuss on tonight's show. First and foremost, we're going to discuss the corruption surrounding the competition. We're going to analyse the group stages. We're going to take a look at the favourites to win it, potential dark horses, breakout players, golden boot winner. And some World Cup trivia at the end, like the cherry on top. So a lot of things to get into. We've got a strong team assembled for tonight. I'm joined by Sam, the chief correspondent for Garnacho FC. How you doing, mate?
I'm upgrading myself to president of Garnacho FC, as Severe is the current president of Marshall FC. You are the current president of Ahmad FC. Adam is, of course, the current president and founder of Luke Shaw FC. So,
yeah. Correct.
And also, Casemiro is here as well. So
yeah, live from Qatar. We've got Casemiro, the elite defensive midfielder. We're gonna get on to you in a sec, Dan. Adam, Ireland are in the World Cup. How you doing?
I'm doing good. You know, I thought we'd avoid it because we don't deal well in the sun, and it's quite warm down there, especially in kind of like desert environment. So it's best we avoid that, and just our own decision it was.
Also, Adam, it's a dry country and you can't drink, and the Irish don't do well there either, do they? So
imagine the Irish in Qatar.
There we go. That's torture. Why would we go?
You're like a drumstick lolly and be dehydrated to fuck because you got
and sober as well, just stone cold sober.
Yeah,
pointless.
We've also got
Ireland sober.
Yeah.
Oh god. Have you, just a quick clip before I asked the lads, Adam, have you got a second team by any chance for this tournament?
It was France for a while, but screw France now.
Yeah, fuck France now.
Yeah.
If you know, you know.
Oh, I suppose I'll be joining the ABE. Anyone but England.
Okay. That's fair enough. We have Alex, the senior writer for the Mashiri Out movement. How are you?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. Glad to be here, as always.
Yeah, really good to have you back on, man. And finally, Dan, or Casemiro, as we call him, our international reporter and a Ronaldo enthusiast. Yeah, I know. It sounds like a good name, though, doesn't it? It sounds like a really good footballer, that. How are you, Dan? Nice to have you back on, man.
I'm doing good, but honestly, these last few days have been very tough times for Ronaldo fans.
Yeah, I can imagine it's been tough for you, mate. I'm here for you. Don't worry about it.
Nowhere to hide.
Yeah, nowhere. No Ronaldo content today. It's all World Cup. We will be covering the Ronaldo interview later on, part 2 of that at 9 o'clock with our live reactions. So make sure you tune in for that. And obviously, before we get into the show, make sure you smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, because as I mentioned, we're going to have lots of coverage over this World Cup. So this is the place to be, believe me. Also, if you are wondering why me, Sam, and Adam look like creepy PE teachers, it's because we're raising awareness. I probably shouldn't say that before the thing.
Hey, wait.
Go on.
Jeffrey Dahmer, get it correct.
Yeah. We've got Dahmer. I can't say the other ones.
No,
but yeah, you get the gist. No, you get the gist of it. But we're raising awareness basically for mental health for a charity called Mind in the UK. If you'd like to make a donation to our chosen charity, the link is in the video description. Or just head over to our socials. It's on there as well. There's only... Was you going to say something then, Sam?
I've put the QR code in that corner. Bottom corner. So QR code there. Just get your phone out. If you're on a laptop or a tablet, just get your phone out, scan the QR code, take you straight to the donation page.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, there's only really one place to start, lads, and unfortunately that is with the politics off the pitch and the ongoing corruption surrounding the tournament. Sam, reports suggest over 6,000 migrant workers have died due to tough working conditions, building the stadiums and things like this. Also, in Qatar, they have strict Muslim laws, which have been widely criticised for its ban on the same-sex relationships, and its view on the I always get this wrong, LGBTQ. Is that right? Community.
LGBTQ plus. You got plus.
Apologies. So yeah, punishments include fines, prison sentences up to 7 years, and even death by stoning in certain cases. So this is obviously a huge bump in the road for travelling fans and humans in general. Can you give us your thoughts on this situation heading into this World Cup, please?
So there's a couple of parts to this. I'll try and keep it as brief as possible. The first point is the corruption on the FIFA side. I know you've watched the documentary, Nick. I don't know if the rest of the lads have, but there's a documentary on Netflix currently exposing FIFA for the corruption and how this Qatar World Cup came about. So just look at the timing first of all. You've got a country that has no history of football, didn't have a national team up until recently, didn't have any stadiums. It's the size of a city. It's smaller than Manchester, by the way. That'll just put that into perspective, how big this country is. So it doesn't have the capacity to host a World Cup in the first place in terms of size and geography and space like England does. It's got the infrastructure, we've got the stadiums, we've got the space, we've got a history of football, etc. We've got all the necessary. And then the other contender, I believe, was the USA. Same thing, they've got the structure, so that's one thing. Second thing, the temperature in Qatar in the summer, it reaches 45-50 degrees. You cannot play in a 45-50 degree environment. Dan knows very well how hot it gets in India in the summer, and it's way hotter in Qatar than India. So just imagine that. Like, why was this not thought of beforehand, that we can't play in these temperatures? So they then moved it to the winter, and the winter time is the middle of every single European season. Every single one of them. We have we have our season for September to May, and you just stuck it slap bang in another thing with no break either side of it. So literally, we finished our last game on Sunday, and then I think they were on the plane on Wednesday maybe.
Yeah.
And then we got our first game next Monday. So there's literally no time in between it, and that's for everybody across Europe and other teams as well, or any player who plays in Europe basically. So there's the first lot of issues that are just absolutely ridiculous. Second lot of issues is the corruption involved in getting this World Cup. So they did deals with several different countries because they have a lot of natural gas, which will supply energy, electricity for different countries. They did deals with several different countries to make them vote for them, and they would supply them with gas discounted, and obviously little money bags. I think in the FIFA documentary they were giving like little envelopes filled with like 40 grand of cash and stuff like that. So all that sort of stuff going on. So take all those factors into account. They should have had this World Cup. You can't play there in the summer. They don't have the infrastructure, don't have the stadiums, don't have the history, and then they bribed their way to get it in the first place. All that is just one big issue. And then the other issue is the country itself is like, I get you have to respect people's religious beliefs. That's fine. If you want to believe in a certain religion and certain rules, do what you want. Like, I don't have any issue with it. But when your religious belief persecutes other people for something they can't control, whether that's their race, their sexuality, their status as like their gender in terms of like women and stuff like that. So you're persecuting people based on that, then that's when I have an issue with it. Like, if you want to pray 5 times a day and you want to have strict laws regarding how to worship God, etc., that's one thing. But to persecute people who can't control the things you're persecuting them for is absolutely disgusting and abhorrent. And the fact that we're hosting a World Cup where the tagline for the World Cup is everybody's welcome. Everybody is supposed to be open to the World Cup. Football is the world's game, and everybody's supposed to be included. And this just excludes so many people for choices, for not even choices, for things they don't have a choice in, and it's absolutely disgusting. So yeah, couple that all together, this is a complete and utter shit show and a complete and utter mess. And then we've coupled it now to top it all off. If it wasn't bad enough, 6,000 migrants have died building these stadiums in 45-degree heat. Many from disadvantaged backgrounds from different countries like India, like Philippines, stuff like that. And they've just swept that under the rug. I've seen recently it's come out the fan accommodation. There's a few videos come out of fan accommodations, which equates to a fucking gazebo in the middle of the desert next to a road, which is absolutely disgraceful. So just, there's nothing positive in terms of this World Cup for me. It's such an utter shit show, and it just exposes how corrupt FIFA is, how corrupt the planet is, and how it doesn't matter what you do. If you've got a shit ton of cash, you can make stuff happen. And that's where we're at with this World Cup. And that's why it's the least I've excited for a World Cup I've ever been in my life. It's fucking... I have zero interest in terms of everything else. I just like watching football, and that's kind of how I've got to just look at the football. And sorry I went on so long, but I was trying to cover everything and condense it. But yeah,
it's hard to disagree with you there. There's an argument that football shouldn't be dragged into these ideological or political battles, but this is just something you can't ignore. Some of the stuff coming out from this. It's going to be interesting to see what happens over there whilst the tournament's ongoing, to see if there's any clashes or protests and stuff like that. I have no idea how it's going to go down.
I believe England. I don't think. I believe England. Harry Kane is going to wear the rainbow armband. I believe.
Yeah.
I don't know whether that's going to cause fines or restrictions, or I don't know what.
I think things like that shouldn't be. I think they'll be very not blasé with it, but I don't think they'll focus attention on it as much. I think it'll be public display of affection and things like that. That's things that they've mentioned before that they, But yeah, I want to dive into the bid itself, Alex. I think, at the time, FIFA changed it to dual bids. So the 2018-2022 World Cup, both Russia and Qatar got announced. As Sam mentioned before, the favourites were USA. There was others in the mix like Japan, Australia, and South Korea. And I'm not sure if you've seen that FIFA documentary on Netflix, but there was lots of reports. FIFA had, been greasing a lot of palms, putting out a lot of bribes, so Qatar could host it in the first place. Wouldn't be the first time, I suppose. How much does this affect football and what football stands for, and where do you stand on that as well?
I mean, yeah, I'm echoing a lot of Sam's points, really. I mean, it's this long record, in it, this long history of corruption. It's not just a recent thing. 2014, you had the FBI raids in Switzerland on the FIFA headquarters. You then, like you said, 2010 when it was announced and all that, it was a joint thing. It was Russia, 2018, and Qatar, two countries, where there's a lot to be said about human rights record and plenty of other things. But I mean, then you look at since the result in 2010, you've had 22 voting members. 16 of them have either been implicated or investigated for alleged corruption, bad practice, and then you've got the main people in that: Sepp Blatter, the disgraced
our craze.
Michel Platini, the disgraced ex-head of UEFA. That Mohammed bin Hammam, who's the president was the president of the Asian Football Confederation.
Jack something as well, isn't there? Is Jack
Warner.
Jack Warner, that was a big one.
Chuck Blazer, all of them.
What a name.
So you've got, and then the French president Nicolas Sarkozy, Vitaly Mutko, who was the deputy PM to Putin and was the Minister of Sport, and then obviously Putin himself. So these are all the guys who were sort of the main players in it. Obviously, Platini, lifetime bans from football. Mohammed bin Hammam got a lifetime ban from football. You've got Nicolas Sarkozy, the ex-French president. He was had criminal convictions for.
Wasn't this something? Sorry to cut you in there, Alex. Wasn't this something to do with PSG in that as well? With Sarkozy and Platini, there was something between them, and the same people took over PSG. There was lots of deals going between France and Qatar at the time.
I mean, there's plenty of mucky, backstory to it. That, to be fair, I don't know enough about to sort of give my two pence. But this is what I'm saying. It's painting the picture of this just history of corruption. Al Jazeera offered 400, apparently 21 days before the result was announced. Al Jazeera, the state broadcaster for Qatar, they offered $400 million if Qatar won, and no, and then plus they offered 400 million to get them to change, to vote for Qatar, and then if Qatar won, an extra $100 million for these. It's just so, and this is what it is. So I mean, it's hard to answer the question only because they do have this history, don't they? And what's been done before. The only thing I could maybe say, and you mentioned it a second ago, Nick, was basically based off people's reactions to it themselves. So our reaction as human beings and just as football fans being in that country, the people who are there. But like, I don't see anything changing. I don't see anything good coming from it. I hope to be proven wrong. I hope that there's so many protests, and you've obviously got like you said about the rainbow captain's armbands, things like that. I mean, they're only small measures, but maybe that can help, and then maybe it changes something in the future. But to me, all this is done really.
It's proven it even more.
Yeah, not just Qatar 22, but Russia 2018 is that, like you said, money makes the world go round. They had plenty of little envelopes to be giving the appropriate people, the people making the decisions. So I don't.
Yeah, the facts. The facts you mentioned there about the 16 out of 21, was it, or something like that, that have been prosecuted for corruption.
Like that from there, when that's become like sort of public knowledge or whatever, surely someone, whoever, something's got to be done. Someone's got to step in and say, just look at this, man. Like,
if you had a tree with that many filtered roots or broken roots, you wouldn't expect it to grow. So I don't know how they expect FIFA to grow with these kind of people that are in there. And look, it always comes back to money. Everything always comes back to money and power. And that is the motive behind a lot of these people at FIFA. I want to.
It's the phrase, isn't it? It's the phrase: money and power corrupt absolute. It always happens, and it always will. When there's money and power involved, they will corrupt.
Yeah, and when you're a purist in football, we're the ones who get hurt by that because look what's happening to the World Cup. I want to, Dan. I know obviously you're a lot closer to Qatar than we are. As an Indian yourself, does it? When you see these news stories coming out about the migrant workers that are dying over there, and there's a high percentage of them that are from India, does that hit you even more so, like from a personal perspective?
Yeah, on the personal side of it, it really hurts because when you see your countrymen are going outside and they are suffering and even losing their lives, it's not only that they are losing their lives, but because of their lives, their family is affected who are there back in India. So it's like with the amount of the count which is there in the sheets on papers, it's not only those people are affected, but their parents, their family members back home, they are in so many numbers, they are also are affected. But at the end of this, I can see that the beginning is the starting of this issue is from could be a political issue, because in India it's like 6 to 8% unemployment, because of which people opt to go outside because they see as a shiny jobs outside India, and the expectations are high, but on the ground only those who are working there knows how hard it is at that place. And if you see from the last 10 years, there have been around, in total, if you take each and every country from apart from Qatar, all the people who have come from outside Qatar, the death rate is around like 6,000 plus people they have died, and out of that 2,700 are plus are Indians, and it's like almost like 25% of them are Indians. But on papers, what the record says that they are died as a natural death, and but that's shocking to see that they have quoted it as natural deaths. And but in 2019 there was some surveys or some investigation went on this all the death tolls, and they found that it was because of the after effect of the summer heat. I mean, heat is not only the factor, because as an Indian we are used to live in a temperature of more than 40-45 degrees Celsius. But it's the way they are treated there. They are made to work long nights and even in the long hours. And but the main factor, as they are said, is the heat is the main factor, and the way they are asked to work. And there has been an after effect of those heat. And even there were some rumors saying that people, if they are getting sick for one day and they take one day off, then in return their 2 days wages is cut off. So this is one of the rumors, and I was really shocked to see that, because they are made to work like donkeys, and yet they are not given the respect, or the safety measures were not taken. And in some cases they were seen that the bodies were lying on the floors and nobody was there to pick them up and investigate on those things. And even even it says that these numbers are just the rough numbers. They don't even have the good track of it, who all are dying. And
they're probably not
there is no
they're not
communication
recording
to,
it, are they? They're not going to be
yeah,
recording
No.
it, because like, why would they
there
care?
is no record of that. So, and also there is no communication also to their parents or the families back home. So when the communication is cut off, they are like the totally blocked, and they are not even having the enough information about what happened there and what is the cause of this issue. But you can see many people are dying who are at the age of 45 to 50. So that's not a natural death in my opinion.
Yeah.
But this is how it is. It's going on, but everything is being hidden with all the shiny things, the demonic thing about the World Cup, the FIFA, everything. But behind that, I would say that it could be harsh, but the stadiums are built on the graveyard.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
I
a
agree.
very good point. I remember Brazil when they covered up a certain bit of it, all the favelas and stuff on the highway, I think it was, and it's like they're doing the same thing in Qatar, just covering up all this. I mean, I saw the video.
They got them to move
on,
out.
sorry.
Like, they went into the favelas and all the unsavory people. They basically arrested them all and stuck them in jail.
Yeah.
So that when tourists came, the drug dealers and the thieves and all that, they weren't around. So it's basically, and then as soon as the World Cup was over, they let him out of jail. It's just like,
And a lot of the mainstream media won't cover this at all, as we know. I mean, I saw the videos of the coffins arriving, these poor guys who have died over in Qatar. And the heartbreaking thing is as well, I remember I was watching it on the Gary Neville thing. These guys going over to there, they're sending 90% of the wages back over to the families. So it's not as if they're going over there for themselves. They're obviously going over there to provide for the families and then dying whilst they're over there. And they don't even record.
They ain't getting paid that much either. It's not like they're
Yeah,
getting
it's
paid
like
a fucking
200 quid, I think, or something
Yeah.
like that. Like, it's ridiculous. And yeah, it's like it's hard to watch, man, honestly. And I almost feel like at guilt for watching football now, like watching this World Cup, because you know the things that are going on behind closed doors. Adam, the fact that we've had to have a break mid-season, so this could be played in winter because of the temperatures, then not having proper accommodation, they've had to hire out like cruise ships and shit like that, like at the side, to accommodate for these fans that are coming over. This just shows why they should never have had it in the first place, right? If you have to do all these things just to put a World Cup on, why was it even considered?
Well, we all know why it was considered anyway. Let's be honest. We've been through that. It's an actual disgrace that two countries with such a negative history against a certain type of people for their sexuality were even considered, to actually host it, and let alone back to back and actually host it in the end. The lack of accommodation, we already touched on it there. They're teepees, basically. They're pop-up tents. They're like thinner than tents. I've never seen anything like it. And it's like they'll probably, let's be honest, be policed as well. You'll have people sticking their heads in and out. I don't know if you've seen the video of I think it was Danish news crew who were recently. That was in the last day or two. They were threatened that their cameras would be broken live on air. And you're going into a country now who, let's be honest, they might have, all these like fantastic cities and whatever, but for me, their mindset is stuck in the third world. And you're meant to be hosting one of the most prestigious tournaments in the world. but they're just not up for it. Accommodation wise, the cruise ships coming in, that's a fat check for the cruise ship companies. They're basically hotels on the water. Uh, Accommodation, I've been through that. And what was the other point that you made as well? The first one, oh, the mid-season break, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So, like, I know we've seen it recently with players as well. A lot of them, their hearts are they're having issues with their hearts, and this is adding more and more games to the football calendar, and it's just not suitable for them. We've seen burnout, and I don't want to keep referring to them as an example, but I think an example of that was Liverpool last season in every competition they were, and they made it. They played every game possible in the football calendar, and look what happened to them at the end. They were ran into the ground, and that can happen again next season. It will, hopefully not to them. Let's be honest. But it's just for health benefits. It's not that great when you're out in the middle of the desert as well. The fact that we have to play it season at winter just so it's cooler just goes to show it breaks up the Premier League season. We've seen injuries happen and people pulling out of league fixtures in the fear that they're actually going to miss the World Cup. And I can confidently say
that definitely had a psychological effect. I don't care what anyone says. You can see it on a lot of players. Anthony, for us, who didn't come back for 3 games, it was said he'd come back like the week after. He was definitely thinking about the World Cup, thinking, fucking hell, I can't chance this now if I get a slight knock.
You saw it on Varane's face when he got injured. He was crying. He was like in fucking tears. The fact that he wasn't going to play in the World Cup. And then they took James Maddison off at Leicester after like 28 minutes because he pulled up. He was like, oh, fuck. You might miss the World Cup. They hauled him off after 20 minutes. So
that has an effect on the actual league. It does, no matter what people say. Like I know 1 or 2 players here and there out of the team, but there can be star players. Like look at our right side since Anthony has gone. It's been non-existent, and potentially we could have gotten more points on the board. We could have beaten Villa. Who knows? I know I'm not putting it down to one player, but we just had nothing that side of the pitch. We didn't. So like these, like as you said, psychological effects. It has an effect even on the actual league table, breaking up the football calendar, the football year right in the middle. It just doesn't make sense. And just to accommodate a World Cup that should never have been, I don't know how it was given. It was like I remember during COVID, the Euros were changed. Why didn't we change this after all the outroar? Why wasn't it like we changed the Euros in the matter of what was it, a year? But we've known about this for years. It would have saved the lives of many people. Let's be honest, thousands. It'd be more suitable to be in the summer somewhere else. And I think I know they're probably going to be investigating more, but I think more needs to be done in the bidding process, and I think it needs to be very, very open so everyone can actually see what's happening.
Yeah.
So maybe a regulator to go in.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff which you can't just brush under the carpet with this World Cup. There's so many things ongoing, and we will continue to have conversations on this because it's important. And a lot of the mainstream media don't cover it, like I suggested before. So we will continue to discuss it. In relation to the tournament itself, I want to take a look at the groups. It's hard to move on from something like that when it's it's a very sensitive subject and stuff. But we're discussing the World Cup as a whole. That is certainly an important part with the corruption and stuff. But yeah, in relation to the tournament, I want to take a look at the groups, and I'm just going to fire some questions at you as I go through them. So first up, we've got Group A: Qatar, Ecuador, Senegal, Netherlands. Sunday, the first game, Qatar against Ecuador, just really gets your blood boiling, doesn't it? Can't wait for that fixture. Tantalising. Fuck me. Which two teams?
My life savings on Qatar. I don't care. They're probably going to win that. Let's be honest.
You know what do you say that? Because there was a tweet today of some journalist. He's called Amjad Tahar, and he said that apparently Qatar bribed 8 Ecuadorian players to the tune of $7.4 million to lose 1-0 to Qatar.
Yeah.
So
not a bad man. Is it financial advice?
How much was that figure, Alex? Did you say?
$7.4 million.
I would give one of you $7.4 million right now if you can tell me the name of a Qatari player. No, didn't think so. Which 2 teams top that group, do you think? Qatar, Ecuador, Senegal, Netherlands. In what order?
Yeah.
Qatar,
How many have they bribed? How many teams have they bribed every single team? Or have they just bribed Ecuador? Like, which one?
Yeah, 9-0 all the way in every fixture.
It's like North Korea. Do you remember when they were in the World Cup a couple of years ago?
Yeah.
And then they were reporting it in North Korea, and they won the World Cup. They won it 10-0. And that's what's gonna go on, isn't it? It's just
Probably they'll be selling the stadiums. They'll say you lose and you'll have this stadium. You can.
Yeah. Bribery everywhere. In all seriousness, if you had to put money on it, I'll go to you first, Sam. Who would you put in top 2 in that group?
If bribery is not a factor and corruption is not a factor, which God knows at this point, I don't know. If it was just straight football being played, I would say Netherlands and Senegal top that group.
Seagal, I was thinking it's Steven
Seagal. He might be a fan. You never know. Yeah. Have you seen the state of him lately? He looks like shite.
Yeah.
He looks horrendous. But yeah, Senegal and Netherlands are probably the 2 top groups. Senegal, Mane is iffy whether he's fit or not. He's a big star for them.
They took an injured Mane, haven't they?
Exactly.
I mean, I fucking would, to be honest.
You would, wouldn't you?
And then Netherlands have got some really good players, some decent players. They haven't got a massive standout player, I would say, but they have got some really decent players.
Van Dijk, De Jong. Come on, Sam.
De Jong
No, but is it? No, I know what you mean.
De Jong has sat on the bench. De Jong has sat on the bench at Barcelona most of the season.
Be careful about De Jong. You know what I'm saying.
And then Van Dijk is a defender, so he's not gonna score goals and light up the tournament. He'll save you and get clean sheets for you, but he's not gonna light the tournament.
Well, not on his form this season, in fairness.
Exactly. So, they haven't got superstars, is what I'm saying. But they have got a good enough team to get through that group, I think. Ecuador, I couldn't name you a player since Antonio Valencia. That was the last Ecuadorian player I can remember.
Ooh, that's a good question, actually. Ecuadorian player right now.
Couldn't name one.
Can we name any?
Morelos. Valencia.
Morelos from Rangers.
Oh, is Morelos from Rangers? Is he Ecuadorian? I thought he was Colombian, wasn't he? Is he not? Or Venezuelan? No, he's Venezuelan, I'm sure.
I think he's Colombian, to be fair.
Moises Casido, isn't he Ecuadorian?
Yeah, he is. And to be fair, I was
star player there.
There you go.
Yeah, he's a good player. Yeah, we got linked with him for 5 million before he went to Brighton, Alex. I don't know if you know this. And we got offered him for 5 million and we turned it down. And then when we was going in for a DM in the summer, we got linked for 50 million.
50 million pound.
Honestly. So is that for Group A? Is that the general kind of consensus? We think Senegal and Netherlands qualify for that. If bribery's not.
Ecuador can give Senegal a run. I think them two are fighting it out for second, surely, aren't they?
Yeah.
But
I would go with Netherlands and Ecuador.
Okay. Interesting. You always do get them shock kind of things in World Cups. It happens all the time. Group B, moving on then. England, Iran, USA, Wales. Very interesting group, of course. Some interesting matchups in there. How will England do in the group, do we think? I feel like there'll be a bit of a mixture of opinion here. Alex, I'll go to you first on this.
Honestly, and this isn't even through any sort of confidence or anything like that, I think we win every game. I'm not saying we win comfortably. I just think we're the best team in the group out of them 4 teams, and that's not discrediting the other teams either, because I think they do have players. Some of them have got something to cause us problems, but I just think we'll win every game, and I don't know why.
That is a bold statement from Alex.
I mean, maybe Wales, just based off the fact that obviously it's a home nations game and stuff like that, and when we played Euros last, it was a close game and all that, but that's like 6-7 years ago now, so
Sam, I'll go to you next.
I think England finished second in the group. I think we draw the first game against Iran because that's what England do. We get the easiest fucking opponents possible and we piss it up the wall.
Gonna low block the fuck out of us, aren't they?
Exactly.
Iran.
We just not. And then we're still gonna play with 2 defensive midfielders in Declan Rice and Calvin Phillips, aren't we? because that's the way Gareth Southgate plays.
An injured Calvin Phillips as well.
Fucking idiot. So I think we could well finish second in the group. I think USA might. They've done well in qualification and they play some good football. So I think they could win the group. Honestly, I think Wales will push us close for second. But yeah, I think England finish second in the group and then we go out in the round of 16. I think that's England.
I think we've established Sam has absolute no faith in England whatsoever.
Wait. Let me correct that. I have no faith in Southgate, not England. I think we've got good players. Southgate is useless, next to useless. So that's why I don't have faith in him.
Damn, I mean, is that not controversial, man? Of the last 2 tournaments we've had.
Yeah, but look at the run we had. Like, who did we play? Germany aside, and it wasn't the greatest German.
You played,
It wasn't the greatest German team in the world either. And that Italy team, we should have absolutely smashed the fuck out of them in that first half. And we scored.
They're not even in the World Cup.
And we scored 1 goal and took our foot off the pedal and lost on penalties. Like, you know what I mean? It's fucking.
I know.
One second. I want to go to the non-Englishmen because I want to get their take on this.
Oh, this is gonna be unbiased, isn't it?
Yeah.
Proper unbiased. Yeah.
Adam, where do you think England? How do you see him battling through this group?
Look, you can only really base them on their last few tournaments, as Alex was saying, and to be honest, they've actually done well in those tournaments. They've kind of broken their curse of losing penalty shootouts as well. I think the beat was Colombia. I could be wrong. I think it was Colombia at that time. Yeah, I think it was in a TGI Fridays when I was watching that.
Yeah, but Adam, we had a final against Italy and fucked it. So has it been lifted?
No, but to be fair, we've never won a World Cup penalty shootout until we won that one against Colombia. So, well, Adam, you're making good points, mate.
I'm
fucking patronising bastards.
I'd love to say that he finished below Iran, if I'm being honest, but I think England are going to win the group. I think. I'm getting onto that. Yeah. I think England are going to win the group with ease, and then in second place, I'm going to put the United States soccer team. I think I think we're very patriotic. We got everything there. We got team spirit. We got.
It's so much aggression. It's so much patriotic. We're gonna be patriotic.
Why is he going Northern? Why is he going Northern Ireland now?
Oh, I don't know. What do you say, Dan?
Was it Northern Ireland?
with that comment, Glazers will be happy with Adam.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm not sure if it's just a little side kind of anecdote. I don't know if any of you have seen it. There's like this thing called, and it's not the thing you're thinking. It's porn stars, but it's where they trade stuff in.
Yeah.
Have you seen it before?
Sure. Yeah.
And there's a guy who's got like a signed Pulisic thing, right? And he's trying to sell it to this person. He's like, Christian Pulisic is like the Leo Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo thing, and I'm just sat there like, oh my god. And he's like, and he played in the middle of the field, like center mid, and like, you know, fuck all about this guy, literally nothing. And he's asking how much it's worth. He's like, I'd probably say about 10,000, and I'm just scratching my head thinking, oh my god, what the fuck is this guy doing? Anyway, sorry, that just popped into my head. Finish off, I think.
So England top, the United States soccer team in second, and then I'm probably going to put Wales and Iran, and fuck Iran with their recent history, what's going on in their country. So I hope they finish bottom and they get kicked out.
Yeah,
and become an embarrassment.
I'm happy
Strong
with that.
take.
Hey, here's an idea. Here's an idea. Kick the Iran out and put Ireland in. There we go. Home nations.
Yeah.
Oh, now that would be a group.
That'd be a fucking group. Wales, Ireland, and England. Yeah. That's a fucking group right there.
Yeah, and then the USA just to mix it up a bit. Throw a few Trump supporters in there just to fire it up. Dan, come to you last on this group. What do you think?
Yeah, actually, I like the team, England, and the players. The team look solid, but again, I have same thoughts as what Sam has. England this time is like a team. England actually reminds me of Manchester of last season. Like, you never know which game they're going to win. Or So the consistency is not there. Still, that confidence is not there in me. But the players are there. But then again, the coach is a problem in my opinion. But I can still see England will qualify and be on top of the group with Wales on the second, because I know that Wales in any top competition somehow they qualify for the group
Yeah, they
stage.
do all right.
Yeah.
Kiefer Moore, get in, lad. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, just on Southgate very quickly before we move on to the other group. There is a thing with him. I get it with the style of play. People are not fans of it. They want the attacking style of football with the likes of Bellingham and Foden and these kind of guys, right? But the more I think about it, the more I think international football. You look at any of the teams that have won these tournaments. They don't play this kind of tantalizing football. Even Spain, when they won it, it wasn't amazing football. You get through these through gritty kind of 1-0, 2-1 wins. That's how international football is. And Southgate sets his team up. He gets his goals off the set pieces, maybe a counter attack and things like that. And I think there is very harsh criticism of Southgate because of the style. But if you look at the managers that we've had over the past 40 years, you can go back. He's been the most successful bar, obviously, us winning in '66.
But he's a hypocrite in the way he presents himself, though, because he talks about picking players on form and picking players because of the way they play, and then he's put Maguire in a team where he's been terrible for Man United for 2 seasons. So where's the form there? And then you have Tomori, who won the Serie A last year with AC Milan, he had a decent season. He had 2 shit games against Chelsea. Was it Chelsea they played in the Champions League? Yeah. Had 2 shit games, and then he disqualified him for form. And it's just like, well, Maguire's been playing shit for 2 seasons. How the fuck? And then he's saying he's picking players on form, and then he's took players who are injured or are not fit. So Kyle Walker had surgery like less than 3 weeks ago on his groin. God knows if he's fit. Calvin Phillips played 1 game before the season finished, like 70 minutes. So God knows if he's fit. So it's just like the inconsistency in his rhetoric and his selection process. So I'm going to pick players on form. Well, he hasn't. I'm going to pick players who are fit. Well, he hasn't. So it's just like he doesn't line up with what he's saying. And as much as people go, oh yeah, he's done well in tournaments. Again, he's got lucky in quite a lot of these games. Like we haven't played. Can you name one England game where
do you not need that though in international football?
You do, but like where have we played well? At some point, you need to play well to win a tournament. You have to play well for at least 1 game or and we haven't. We've had moments of like really good play. Like Luke Shaw for England is like fantastic. Plays really well. Adam, I know you're getting excited.
Look at him smiling in the top left corner. He's loving it.
So
Luke.
Yeah, so like we have players who are capable of doing that, but then he benches arguably the most impactful players. Like Phil Foden doesn't start most of the time. Baffling, absolutely baffling me. Sterling starts repeatedly. He's had a terrible season, and I'm sure he's going to start the first game for England. So it's just
in that tournament though, in the Euros, he was the best player.
Yeah, he was great, but this season,
without a doubt,
this season he's not been great.
Yeah, this season has been poor.
I know, but he was shit going into the Euros as well. And that goes along with the point that with the Maguire thing is that he's been shit for two years, but he was all right at the Euros. He played every game.
Would you start him, Alex? If you was out Southgate now, would you start Maguire?
I think he is going to start.
I think he will.
Would you? I want to know.
I mean, personally, it's hard because to be fair, Sam, right? A lot of the things that you were saying there, they are good points, and I can't disagree with what you say. But at the same time, you've also got to remember that it's not just like international football is not just based off. Like it sounds silly, and maybe like this is how it should be done, but it's not based off picking the 26 best players in the country, and then that's it, and then you've got a team.
No, but you need you need tactical philosophy, you need a style of play, etc. I get all of that.
I agree with that, but then that's why to me it makes sense that he's kept in Maguire and things like that, and Phillips, and then like we said, Sterling going into the Euros. Like we all remember him now after the Euros and saying what an amazing tournament he had, but going into it, we were all saying like he surely can't play. He's not played for City for the past like 6 months basically. He's barely kicked a ball, and then he goes into the Euros and absolutely smashes it. So,
Who would you start as centre back, Alex? I want to know who would be your pairing. I want to push on this. Because if what you're saying about Maguire, if you thoroughly believe that about Maguire, would you start him?
I mean, it's a hard question, and this is
it's
why
not hard. It's not a hard question. It's a really easy
Trust
question.
me, if you've been watching it for the past 2 years, it's fucking not.
I know,
He's been dreadful.
I know, and I would never like try and argue that point, like to say that he's been good or anything like that. But it's not wrong to say that he's never put a foot wrong really for England and under Southgate. And this is
who's going more with trust. Do you think?
Pardon?
Do you think he's going more with players he trusts rather than maybe taking a chance?
And I think that in a way, right, you can argue, right, he's been out of form, and there's other players, there's Tamura, there's this that, and whoever, right?
Yeah.
But he hasn't put a foot wrong, has he? Under Southgate and for England, and until he does, maybe it's a risk, because then you could say, well, he's been off the boil for 2 years, and maybe it's asking a lot of him, like mentally, to stand up and be the main.
Alex, say I'll put it in because you're an Everton fan. Say Pickford had 2 absolutely horrific seasons, the worst season you've ever seen Pickford have. Are you going to be happy with him playing for England?
Alex is still starting.
You still start him? Would you still start him? Even if he cost you, like, say goal difference was like worse than ours was last season and that was shite. Say you were you just avoided relegation, but you conceded God knows how like 40 odd goals. And Pickford didn't keep a clean sheet all season, was letting little stuff go through his hands and stuff like. Say he had the worst season imaginable. Are you still going, pick him for England? That's how we feel with Maguire. That's why we're at.
No, and it's fair. It's fair to say. So, if I hold my hands up, I probably wouldn't say that I'd start Pickford given that situation. But then, obviously, use being United fans and watch it. I mean, you haven't seen much of Maguire recently.
Thank God. Thank God.
Yeah, or yous know certainly more than I do in terms of his overall game. I see him, the odd United game, whatever, the odd Champions League game, and then playing for England. And when I see him play for England, he plays well. So
no, you make
what I'm going on. You know what I mean?
You make a valid point. Go on, Dan.
Yeah, but considering how England plays, the formation is like more of I've seen them playing more as back 5 with 3 centre backs. So in that case, who else do you have apart from Maguire, John Stones, or I'm not sure whether Tomori is not there.
It'd be Dyer. Yeah. Or sometimes play Walker as a centre back in the back. Yeah, right-sided centre back.
You got Ben White as well, haven't you? You can play.
Smalling's not there, but Ben White. Conor Cody in about 5 as well. I wouldn't mind Conor Cody in about 5, absolutely. And he's done okay 4 years in the back 4. He's I don't mind him. I like him as a person as well. He's a good lad, Conor Cody. I want to move it on because we can discuss England all day, and of course we're going to have the show this week where we pick our 11s and what teams we'd go with and stuff. Just not to bottle off, but it doesn't matter. I'm flowing. Group C: Argentina, Saudi Arabia, Mexico, Poland. Little South American clash there. Should be, fiery game. For some reason on my notes it says a furry game. It's not going to be a furry game. It's going to be a fiery game.
Poland. Adam got excited then.
Yeah, Poland have the obvious world beater up top. Who comes out on top of that, do you think? Adam, I'll go to you first.
Saudi Arabia. Argentina, if we're going to walk it. I think it has to be Argentina. A lot of people are tipping them to go the full way in the tournament and potentially to the whole final. And I think they could get to the final. So I think them top. And then I think it's going to be a battle for second place and between Mexico and Poland. But I'm going to edge Mexico just simply down to their goalkeeper always steps up at the world.
Guillermo Ochoa. Absolutely ridiculous tournament player.
Hear of it for 4 years and then he just
yeah, exactly.
Motherfuckers.
Yeah. Every fucking tournament. Every tournament.
Yeah. And I checked, was he actually in the squad? And he has, of course, been called up to the squad.
Oh yeah, of
So
course.
he's there. And I think it could come down to that. I know, like it's hard to say, oh, they're only going to come out because of a goalkeeper. The goalkeeper isn't scoring the goals, but I think Mexico, they play a decent style of football as well. Quick one-touch football. I know there's a few decent players in there. Is it Carrera? He played for Atletico Madrid.
You got
Yeah.
you got
Correa's the Argentinian one. You're thinking about Corona, I think it's called the winger.
You've
Corona,
got Herving,
and then
you got
Herrera
Herving.
too.
Is it Herving Lozano as well?
Yeah.
So you got him.
Mhm.
I don't know if
Yeah,
Jimenez is
Lozano.
going.
Raul
Maybe.
Jimenez,
He is, yeah.
Jimenez,
Yeah.
They
Jimenez,
have a few
Lozano.
decent players there.
Yeah.
And then when I look at Poland, you're thinking what? Obviously Lewandowski.
Matty
but
Cash.
aside from
You forgetting
Lewandowski-
Matty Cash? What about Matty Cash?
Matty
Matty
Cash.
Cash. He's
The
transferred to
Jack
Poland.
Grealish.
Yeah,
Hmm.
playing for Poland.
So I think Mexico might have edged it in terms of quality there. So obviously them second. I think Poland third, and Saudi Arabia bottom. Sorry, I had to correct it.
Translation.
It's so hard to keep a straight face when he says. I know he means third, but when he's saying third, it's hard to not. You know what I mean? General quickfire. What do we think? Argentina, Saudi, Mexico, Poland. Do you guys agree with what Adam said there?
Yeah, Argentina, Mexico, Poland, Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, I can't wait to see Lissandro for Argentina as well. I'm excited. I've seen bits of Argentina in the training drills and stuff like that, and he looked fucking on fire. Honestly, it was a goal that Messi scored on his weak foot. I don't know who's against. I think it was against UAE or whoever the fuck that is. I have no idea. But they look really good.
Arab Emirates.
Oh yeah, apologies. Yeah, do we agree with that, Alex? Do you agree with that?
Yeah. I mean, it's you're battling out. It's Poland or Mexico in it, like battling out second. I think.
Who do you think? Out Poland, Mexico. Who are you taking? Because I am going to revisit this video after the World Cup.
Do you know what? I will go Mexico. I think World Cups, they tend to, they've got more of a World Cup history, I'd say.
Okay. And finally, Dan.
Yeah, same.
Sorry, I've already asked you that? I feel like I'm going on a thing. Yeah.
No. I would go with both Argentina and Mexico. Poland is more like a one-man army, so.
A pretty good one, though, isn't it? If you're gonna have a one-man army, it's not a bad one to have. Group D: France, Australia, Denmark, Tunisia. France and Denmark, tasty fixture, of course. Denmark beat them recently in a friendly. Could the Great Danes cause a few upsets again? Do you think, Sam?
Don't forget Tunisia. Hannibal Medpre. He's playing for Tunisia.
Yes, sir.
So don't forget about him. He's been called up. Yeah, it's looking like Denmark and France, isn't it? If you're being honest, I'd say.
No Aussies, mate.
I love Australia. It's one of my favorite places in the world. Like Melbourne, especially. I love Australia, but it's just I don't think they have anybody of quality, like higher level quality in the team to sort of pull them through to the next round. So, whereas Denmark have got quite a few people. Obviously, Christian Eriksen is main star, so I think they should have enough to get them through. They went quite far in the Euros, didn't they? Obviously, faced us.
Extra time, pushed us to extra time, didn't they?
So I think they could be dark horses at a tournament. Personally, I think they could go maybe to a quarter-final, semi-final, something like that. Could be interesting. But yeah,
I mean,
put France to top the group if they don't implode, because they do every tournament. They kick off with each other. So yeah, France to top the group and Denmark second.
Can I just say it would be my dream if one of the Australian players scored and did a shoey out of the boot.
Yeah, I'm all for that. I'm all for that.
Yeah, but obviously you can't drink. I don't think you can drink in the stadiums, can you? So it'd have to be a shoey of water, and it's just like, what's the fucking point? Adam, France, Australia, Denmark, Tunisia.
Yeah, I think the French team aren't as strong as they have been in recent years now, which is, look, saying it, they have some absolute quality in terms of backup. We've been saying probably the best squad depth in world football they have. But I think they will walk it with ease, but I don't think they're going to go the whole way. I don't think they're going to be anywhere near defending the crown. But I say they'll top the group. They have enough quality. Mbappe, Benzema,
Yeah,
is he
Benzema.
injured?
Yeah.
No, he's gone. He's gone.
He's gone. Okay.
Karim.
So I think they'll have to top it. And Denmark, I sadly being on the back end of two poor results from Denmark as an Irish fan in recent years, and they play really, really well. Should have beat France there recently as well. So they have really, really good quality. They could be dark horses as well in this tournament, but I think they'll finish second, and then I think Tunisia will finish third, and Australia on the bottom.
Yeah.
Fucking
Down
crikey,
under.
mate.
Down under.
They'll be down under at fourth. Yeah. They've also got some nice pastries as well, Denmark. Throw it out there. Dan, what do you think? Not about pastries, about the top four in this group.
I think France will have an easy go at least in this group stage, but I somehow feel that in the knockout stages they will struggle because their midfield is not that strong.
A lot of people saying this about France, aren't there? There's a lot of people saying
Nick's favourite players in the midfield, isn't it? Tuchemani's in that midfield.
I don't think he'll be starting. Will he be starting?
Yeah, because they don't have any other. Because Pogba is injured and Kante is injured. So...
Yeah, Kante injured as well. Shit, yeah, forgot about that.
So the midfield will be young. They have talented midfield, but the young midfield, so that doesn't create the confidence.
Camavinga French.
Yeah.
So it'll be a Real Madrid midfield essentially, like Tuchemani and Camavinga.
Yeah.
Yeah. So but they may struggle in the knockout stages when the top teams comes in. So but in the group stage they will top the group with Denmark on the second. But I also, on the side note, I also feel that Denmark may create some problem for France for that first spot.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
And third Tunisia and fourth Australia.
Or Australia. Last vote, Alex.
Do you know what then? Just to change it
Mix it up.
Everyone's gone literally the same 1 to 4.
Denmark top.
I'll go Denmark top. Yeah.
I agree.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Listening to your points though, there is actually, like, to be fair, if you'd have asked me first, I'd have said France. I would have done it in the exact same order. But then I'm listening to some of the stuff you're saying, and do you know what? It's making me think that Denmark could actually cause some problems. So let's just mix it up a bit and go Denmark top. The same.
I like it. Group E. Usually the letter I got in the results when I did my exams. Spain, Costa Rica, Germany, and Japan. Spain and Germany haven't been great over the past few years, if we're being completely honest. What do you put that down to, do you think, Sam?
Just lack of sort of high level players. Like obviously Spain in the past, you've had like absolute superstars in there. Sergio Busquets, Xavi, Fabregas, Iniesta. Like the list goes on and on, doesn't it? Like it's just the stars they had in the past, and that's why they won. They won the Euros and then the World Cup, like back to back.
Yeah. Consecutive. Yeah.
So. Yeah. They were quality in the back. They've not got it's not got an awful team. Like they've got people like Pedri in there, Gavi. Like they've got some decent.
Pedri's such a good player.
Exactly. Like they've got some good players. Like they're not a terrible team by any stretch of the imagination. I think it was a slight mistake not to take David De Gea as like a third choice keeper at least.
Crazy. Didn't someone say he was retired?
They rang him up. The president of Spain rang him up and said, "Oh yeah, congratulations on your retirement." He was like, "I have not retired."
Just doing his drills, warming up. Like, I haven't retired, mate. It's awkward.
They've not got a bad team, so I don't expect them to sort of capitulate at all. Germany again, I think they seem to be in some sort of rebuilding phase at the minute. They've got some talent in there. They've obviously got Leroy. Is Leroy Sané going, or is he injured? Is he going?
Oh no, Sané be going. And you've got Michelari as well. I can't pronounce his name.
Munich. Yeah. So he's a quality player, and they've got Hansi Flick, who former Bayern Munich manager. He's the coach. He's a very good coach and stuff like that. So I'd expect them to do
first World Cup.
Yeah, his first World Cup.
Yeah.
So I expect them to duke it out for first and second. Who was the other two in the group?
Costa Rica and Japan.
Costa Rica to finish last. Like, I know they gave England some trouble that one time at the World Cup. If you remember that?
Is that when
Joel Campbell played for them then?
Yeah.
Yeah, was it? I think Fraser Campbell. Is it not? Oh no. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Sorry.
They gave England a bit of trouble, which was funny. So I think they finished last. Japan. Who've they got really? Japan, like standout players. They've got the Arsenal right back. What's he called?
Tomiyasu.
They got him. So yeah, they've not got many quality players, I would say. Nobody that comes to mind. I remember back in the day, he was the Celtic player who's Japanese.
Nakamura.
Nakamura, what a fucking player! Absolute legend of the game.
No, but South Korea, Sam. I think they actually knocked Germany out, didn't they? Because Son scored the last minute.
We talk about Japan, Nick.
No, I'm saying like Asian teams, like you get these ones you don't have
necessarily. Obviously, they're not all the same, Nick.
Oh, fuck off. You know what I mean? fuck right off. I'm just saying these teams can cause upsets, basically.
Yeah.
Like,
I
without
agree.
star players.
I agree. But Germany, Spain are experienced.
I'm not a racist.
All right, I know. Germany and Spain have experienced in tournaments, especially the World Cup. Like, they know exactly what to expect. Japan, not so much. Like, I don't know what the furthest is they've gone in a tournament. Maybe the last 16, if that.
Third.
I can't imagine. Third. I can't imagine they've gone that far in a tournament. So, yeah.
Further than Ireland.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, Ireland, actually. No, we're getting on to it. I'll speak about Ireland. I've got a thing for you.
So, I'd say I'd go Spain to top, Germany second, Japan third, Costa Rica fourth. That's what I'd go with.
Where do we see Germany and Spain progressing? Does anyone have any faith in them whatsoever to make it far in the tournament? Or do you think, again, kind of round 16?
Quarter-final, that'd be the latest, I'd say. I don't think they go to the final.
I think the Germans could push the semi-final, especially with Hansi Flick, really, really good manager. Gets the best out of his squad, particularly players who you mightn't particularly think are up for it. So, like we've seen, I think the Choupo-Moting kind of play under him as well, and he managed to get a tune out of him. So I'd actually put Germany into the semi-finals, I think, and I think the Germans will top the group, and the Spanish second, and Costa Rica bottom, and Japan third.
They've got some seasoned pros, Germany, haven't they, Alex? You look at the likes of Thomas Muller, been seeing it all. You've got Joshua Kimmich, still one of the greatest midfielders.
Is Manuel Neuer going, or is he?
Yeah, he's still about.
Yeah, he's
newer than old.
Wait.
Tony Cruz as well. They've got good players, man. Some fucking serious players. Would you agree with that as well, Alex? You say semi-finals. You think could you get there?
Yeah, they're definitely good enough, aren't they? And listen, at the end of the day, they're Germany, man. So Germany just
in the blood, innit?
They know what they're doing at World Cups.
Yeah.
That's just what they do. So semi-finals probably like the minimum for Germans going into a World Cup, regardless of team, form, manager, whoever. They're always going to be one of your favourites. But yeah, I mean, I'd go along with the same group, the same ordering that everyone else has gone pretty much. I think Japan, they have actually got a couple of players in there and I think any team like that, especially, like you mentioned it, Nick, like Asian team, like they're sort of representing like the continent in a way. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, as much as there are other Asian teams there, but they're probably the best Asian team. So then, if they get out the group, you've got like a whole
thing. Yeah.
Together almost. So I think Japan could be a bit of a. They could, throw a spanner into it. But obviously, I mean, if we're putting money on it, then we're all probably going to back Germany and Spain as the top two, whatever order it may be, and then Japan give them a fight basically to get through with who's it, Costa Rica finishing bottom.
Yeah. Did you give any chances to Spain, Dan? What?
I was going to say, can I ask a question about Japan?
Yeah, go.
Chicago are going. to the World Cup, because I actually haven't heard of anything from him since the last I heard of him. He was playing away in Dundalk, about 30 minutes away from a place
Fuck me,
called
he's
Cato
fell off,
Park,
Anna.
which is
He
a
has
crisp
fell off.
park. He's fallen off. So I wonder
Coward
if he's
playing
going.
against Dundalk. Oh my god.
Yeah.
He's
Fuck
the
me.
guy who
Close to
played
Cato
for
Park.
Dortmund and fucking Manchester United. And he played in Dundalk.
I'll tell you now, Adam, you don't even need to ask anyone. No, he's not. He's playing against Dundalk. He's not going to the fucking World Cup, mate. I'm going to show you that. Dan, Spain's chances. What do you think?
I think Spain will not go farther than quarterfinals. I know the team is good. They have high potential, but that experience is not still there. I think maybe in the next World Cup they may be a very promising team, because with the likes of players, all the young players like Ansu Fati and Pedri and Gavi, they after 4 years they'll be like on top of their career. So next World Cup, Spain could be a contender for the World Cup, but I think at this moment they lack the experience. So till quarterfinal, I can see them going. But Germany, I would have the same opinion about Germany. They'll top the group with at least reaching till semifinals.
Yeah. So everyone going strong for the Germans there. I think Spain could potentially go further than what people think. I think they've got a good core squad of players. The only thing about Spain is their attackers. I'm not mega on their attackers, and they've not got that prolific. Correct me if I'm wrong, but a prolific number 9 since like David Villa. Fernando Torres obviously had a small spell there, so that's one thing about Spain. It is a criticism. But Luis Enrique, equally a very good coach.
We've had an update. Aaron in the chat. Apparently, Kagawa is playing in the Belgian league now. So there you go.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's Japan in it, so they might be taking him. I don't know, but I said Dundalk and thought not a chance. Group F, Belgium. Sorry.
So harsh. So harsh.
I know. Come on. Belgium, Canada, Morocco, and Dundalk. I'm joking. Belgium, Canada, Morocco, and Croatia in Group F. This one's a bit more of an interesting group. A bit more even than I think most teams like Canada and Morocco both have good players in there. Canada with the likes of Alphonso Davies, Jonathan David, and a couple more in there. And in Morocco, you got Hakim Ziyech, Hakimi, a couple of centre backs. I can't remember the names off the top of my head who play in like Serie A, Premier League. So a bit more even there. I'm interested to see how you guys see this playing out. Dan, I'll go to you first on this because you was last on the last one.
I think this group can be called as a group of death, because you see those teams looks like more like not farther than Belgium and Croatia. They are a bit closer to them, to that level. But at the same time, I can still think that Belgium and Croatia can qualify for the next round. But really, Canada and Morocco can create some problems in their qualification, and maybe the point difference will not be that great. I can see this group be deciding on the last day of the game, the third match.
Alex, any standout players from them teams that I've mentioned who you're looking forward to seeing the World Cup, maybe?
What from this?
It could be Belgium, Croatia, Morocco, Canada, and any of them.
Do you know what? I was just thinking though, right? Every World Cup, yeah, there's always one in there where there's a big team that fails miserably, finishes bottom or whatever, and like Canada, man, I like Canada. I think they've got the potential in them to get into this top two. So I can see either Belgium or Croatia, either one of them. And do you know what? I'd probably go more towards Belgium. Of the two.
Wow. Why? Why? I want to pick at you on that. Why Belgium?
Well,
I think Croatia's got an aging team, haven't they?
So have Belgium as well.
Belgium, that's the thing. Like, so they you know, their golden generation, for the past, you know,
more bronze generation, wasn't it, really?
And well, yeah, exactly. That's what it's proven out to be, because they've not done anything, and now I think they're now on the way out. And I'm not, you know, I'm not a massive fan of Roberto Martinez as a manager. So.
Really? Wonder why.
So I just think it wouldn't surprise me if that Belgium, possibly Croatia, but I see more it being Belgium, being 2022's, you know, the
flop.
The flop, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. like Ireland in the group stages before the qualifying stages. Sorry.
Is it Ronaldo or you that's pulling those arrows out?
Oh, both. Adam, this group F: Belgium, Canada, Morocco, Croatia.
Yeah, Alex touched on it there. I feel like it was a lost kind of generation for Belgium, kind of like England in the 2000s, when you had Gerrard, you had Scholes, Lampard, Rooney.
You had who? You had who? You sound like you said a French midfielder there, Gerrard.
Gerrard. In the midfield.
Gerrard. But yeah, they had a lost generation that just didn't live up to the potential that they could have. They obviously have probably the best midfielder in the world there. You know, I'd argue probably the two best midfielders in world football are in that group, Modric and De Bruyne. So it's going to be interesting that game head to head, who actually controls the midfield in that. Like which one of them is going to be the standout one. But I genuinely just think Croatia, like given the recent kind of placement in tournaments and that they seem to always get the job done. I don't think Mandzukic is still playing, is he? I should look at
this point. He's probably climbing a building somewhere, if I was to guess.
But he's still like one of those players. Like he doesn't necessarily have to do much running. Put it on his head.
What, Sam?
Sorry.
What?
Just move on.
Okay. Sorry, Adam. Did you want to finish up there? Sam rudely interrupted you.
But I think the Croatians will top that group, and like Alex was pointing on, I think it could be a battle between Belgium and Canada for that third position, because Canada, I think Jonathan David will more than likely be going, and he can be. They're probably going to play a low block, but him on the counter, he could cause a lot of damage, particularly against those two big sides.
A lot of pace in that team. A lot of pace. So, and that could be perfect for international football as well. I want to whiz through these next couple of ones, Sam. So just if you can, with Belgium, Canada, Morocco, and Croatia.
Yeah, everybody's touched on them. I think Alex might be right. I think this might be Belgium where Roberto Martinez gets the chop and they fail. Because they had some fantastic players. Obviously, they had Eden Hazard when he was at his absolute pomp at Chelsea. Obviously, since he's gone to Madrid, it's all
water player.
It's all gone to shit.
Yeah, he's had too much paella there, hasn't he?
Yeah, definitely.
I think.
And you got Kevin De Bruyne, who is like holding that team together. Like it's like, do you know when Spider-Man fires all the web off and he's like holding the trains and he's like struggling. That's basically what Kevin De Bruyne is doing with this fucking team at the minute. So yeah, Morocco, good players, some really decent players. Croatia, like Adam said, they always seem to manage to make it quite far in a tournament. Whether age is now finally going to catch him, because how old's Modric now? 35?
38, I think.
38, fucking hell.
His last World Cup.
Yeah, his last World Cup, so maybe the age will catch him as well. But yeah, I'd back Canada to make it through. I don't know whether it'd be first or second. And I'll pick Croatia just because I think they always manage to get through to the next round. So, and then Belgium third, and then who was the other one?
Sorry, Morocco.
Yeah, Morocco fourth. Yeah, that's how I'd say
it. Quick blitz through this. Well, we'll discuss Brazil because obviously they are the favourites. But Brazil, Serbia, Switzerland, Cameroon. Just with Brazil, Dan, who would you go up? Because you've got so many good attackers in the squad. How would you line up the front three?
He'd put himself in the squad, obviously.
No, but he'd be in midfield because Casemiro. Yeah. I mean, the front three, the wingers and the striker. Who would you go for, Dan?
I think for wingers, one should be Neymar on the left, and then striker, I would go with Gabriel Jesus or Richarlison. Yeah, Richarlison is there, so I'm not sure whether how they're.
Richarlison gone?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think he went. Yeah. Oh, apologies.
But the thing is, they have so many players, good players at the same position, because that's where the challenge will be for them to choose the team. Because Vinicius is a good player, very good player, but then Neymar also plays on the same position.
Be careful, Dan. Be careful. Don't insult Nick's favourite player.
I understand that.
Vinicius needs to be in that team, mate. Let me tell you, he needs to. I don't play Neymar left back. I don't give a fuck. Vinicius needs to be in that team.
But yeah, but the thing is, Neymar plays on the left always. So Vinicius' favorite position is left side. So when it comes to comparing both of them, I think Neymar will go. But Neymar, Richarlison, and on the right side, it could be a tricky one with who is there?
Rafinha, Antony.
Rodrigo is there, but Antony, I'm not sure how regular he's playing for Brazil.
Not that regular, I don't think.
Yeah. So I think it should be Rafinha. Left side, Neymar, and up top, Richarlison. Richarlison could also play on the right side. So you never know whether it could be a top three of Neymar, Richarlison, and Gabriel Jesus.
Okay. Alex, Richarlison, top goal scorer, World Cup.
I almost said all the player names. You asked me three.
No, it's fair that because every player you mentioned there, Dan, I think all three of them, maybe not Rafinha, but Neymar, I think you could play him down the middle really, or play him behind the striker, as well as out on the left. Richarlison can play left, right, up top. Jesus, same again. He could play any of them three. He's played a lot on the right at City, didn't he? Obviously, you'd rather keeping him in that number 9 position, but they've got plenty of players there. Go on.
Imagine when they're on the pitch, they'll be confused. Like, no, you are playing on the left. No, you're on the right.
Yeah. Just like traffic, like fucking Bruno Ronaldo did.
No, but sometimes it can be good, can't it, to have 3 players
fluidity interchanging.
Yeah, it can baffle.
Absolutely.
Defenders, can't it? So
yeah.
There's a reason for the favourites anyway, isn't there?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Any shocks out of that group for you, Sam? Serbia, Switzerland, Cameroon, big Mitrovic up top. Is he going? Because he was injured, wasn't he?
Yeah, I'm not
I'm not entirely sure on that. I need to double check that. But they've got Dusan Tadic, Serbia. That's correct. Milinkovic, Savic. They've got some good players, man.
Is Matic going?
I don't know. At this point, no, he's in a fucking care home. He's legs are gone.
In a wheelchair in Serie A.
Yeah, just like that. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. No, I don't see Serbia doing much. I don't see Cameroon back in the day in like the 80s and sort of early World Cup were absolute stunning team, ridiculous team.
Etu, water player.
Exactly. So it's a shame that.
Savendo.
You what?
Who?
Joseph Endo for Cameroon.
I don't have no idea.
Legend.
He plays for Sligo. Fucking hell.
He played in the World Cup.
How are we doing a World Cup show? Dundalk and Sligo have been mentioned.
Ireland's not even a World Cup, and you've got 2 Irish towns in here. Like, how the fuck have you done that?
It had to get him in, didn't it? Had to get him in.
Fucking hell. Brazil should absolutely smash through this group with the talent they have. Like, I can't see him not doing that. The question is who finished second. Like, that's the tricky thing, because Switzerland, they always make it to.
Serbia. I would go with Serbia second.
Yeah, that I wouldn't be opposed to that. And then you got Switzerland, who always make it to the last 16 somehow. They always seem to do that. I'd love an African team to make it to like a further turn, but I don't see Cameroon doing it, to be honest with you. As much as the Sligo Rover legend played for them. So I'd probably go. Yeah, I'd agree with Dan. Brazil. I'll go with Switzerland just to switch it up, but I could easily see Serbia finishing second. But I fully want to see Argentina Brazil semi-final. That's what I want to see.
Yeah. Well, isn't the tournament structured like that?
Exactly.
Can't they
exactly.
If they get through the thing.
So,
ooh, what a fiery semi-final that is.
Hand that to me on a plate, please. I'll take that.
Yeah.
The rest going to have to take fucking 7 red cards in his back pocket just for that game, because it's going to kick off to fuck. Switzerland, some great cheese, by the way. Just a little shout out to Switzerland, because they didn't get much love in that segment there.
Well. Good chocolate.
Chocolate, yeah, man. Big up the chocolate. Have I missed anyone out on that roundup? Sorry, I'm just kind of quickly get through these now.
He's trying to involve himself with the Sligo.
Yeah, apologies. No Irish team mentioned if you can, if possible. So, how would you order that group, Adam? put that group in order?
I think let's be honest. Brazil are giving the rest of the teams a Brazilian butt lift with this one. I think they're finishing off winning every.
They're waxing them, aren't they? They're just ripping them off and they're disappearing.
I don't know. Serbia, Switzerland, difficult test. Switzerland beat France in the Euros, didn't they? So I don't know. It could
I
be
think
tough.
Switzerland. I think Switzerland will finish second.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Group H, the last one we've got there. It took a lot longer than I thought it would, to be honest. Portugal, Ghana, Uruguay, and Korea Republic. CR7 redemption, Sam. All jokes aside, could one of these African sides be an upset? Maybe something like Ghana. I think Ghana, Senegal, and Cameroon have either reached a quarter or semi-finals at some point. So there has been upsets.
Senegal. I remember Senegal got to a semi-final, didn't they? I remember one year in a World Cup, which was
one of the teams. I think.
So that was So they're fully capable of doing it. Portugal is all about, obviously, it's about Ronaldo, and his interview's going live in a couple of minutes. So obviously we'll do a reaction to that. It depends if he's firing for Portugal. If he's not firing for Portugal, they might implode because the fans might turn on him, the media might turn on him, his fellow teammates might turn on him. It could get fucking ugly in that Portuguese team if things don't go well. So it's really interesting. Uruguay, obviously you've got Shireyas' favourite player.
I know what you're going to say.
So shout out to Shireyas, Palestri.
Yeah.
What have you. And then Korea, is Son fit? Is he going?
Yeah. It was a doubt. But they're taking him.
Okay. So all their hopes basically pin on Son being fit and playing well, don't they? That's their entire philosophy at the minute. So yeah, if Portugal and Ronaldo's firing, I see them going through. If not, it could well be Korea and Uruguay going through.
Dan, they've got some super talented players, Portugal, obviously. We know with Ronaldo. We know your love affair with Ronaldo. But aside from him, when you look at the squad as a whole, are you confident they will go far in the tournament, you think?
No, because they have the players in the midfield and in the defense line, but their attacking lineup is not that great. And now with the decline...
With Portugal? What, João Felix, Ronaldo, Bruno... Jota's injured, I think.
Whenever Ronaldo plays, Felix is on the bench, and
that's a good point.
So it's like when now the thing is like it's all about Ronaldo. If Ronaldo is playing good, then the Portugal will progress. But if as things stands, Ronaldo is declining a lot in his form. So and he will start each and every game. He cannot be dropped, at least in Portugal. So. So it's going to be tough. If Ronaldo is not firing, then you can see that they will find it very hard to score goals. So if they go down in a game, then it's going to be very tough for them to come up. I would still think that Uruguay will top the group and Portugal on the second. But I know that Portugal is having a very good team, a lot of players with high profile, but at the same time, the attack is not giving me that confidence for them to go far in this group, in this tournament.
I think though, Adam, Uruguay have got some good players, haven't they? If you look at the team as a whole, they've got Valverde. Obviously, Suarez is getting old now, but they've got Palestri. Sam doing a casual sign there. Cavani, who's probably will be injured. Let's be honest.
No, he's never injured for Uruguay, just for United. Because he travelled around the world to play for Uruguay, but then he was injured for us.
Yeah. So. But yeah, just speak to me about Uruguay, Adam, and talk to me about the Ronaldo situation as well, because you would have think these interviews that are coming out, the ones ongoing right now as we speak, would have give added pressure maybe going into this tournament for the manager to play him, to start him.
Yeah, when you look at the Uruguay team, I think they have a good bit of experience, especially up front. They have that one striker that was born in the Irish town of... I'm joking.
Oh my god!
I was like, there's no way. There's no way Uruguayan player is in Ireland. There's fucking no way.
I'd find the link. I'd manage to find the link. But they could potentially top the group given if Portugal... Like, I think they're relying on Ronaldo to actually, hit a few goals. Especially, we've seen it with our team. When our team are trying to make chances for him and hand it on a play for him, we play him much worse. And this season, he hasn't been scoring those what should be goals, if we're being honest. And potentially, if they do that, they could crash out in that group. They really, really could. And a few people I know are kind of tipping them, I think they can go the full way. But it's just down to him if he has form and whether the manager has the balls to pull him off the pitch if it's not working out. And that's what needs to be done. You need to put your country first. And for him, it's the me show right now. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of news regarding them now shortly.
No, I'm just keeping an eye on the quotes now and seeing what
yeah.
There's a couple that come out about tonight, but we are covering that later in about an hour's time. We'll be live for that. We'll give our live reaction. So yeah, I don't want to discuss Cristiano too much, but it's obviously an important factor with Portugal.
But they have very, very talented players. Rafael Leao, Bruno, we know, Dallo, Cancelo. I think Pepe's going, so it's going to be his last World Cup as well. They have a decent few goalkeepers
Silva
too.
as well.
Yeah,
Ruben Diaz,
midfield.
Nuno Mendes.
I think they've got a good chance, mate. I think I doubting them a bit. Well, obviously it's your opinion, but I think Portugal could do well. I do.
I think if they play to their strengths, though, they could do really, really well. But
yeah.
Are they playing to their strengths? If
well, I'd start João Felix over Ronaldo right now.
If they drop Ronaldo and don't play with him, they've got a better chance. If they start Ronaldo every game, it's gonna fuck them up.
I think it could go either way though, because of his experience and winning in big tournaments. Like it's still Ronaldo at the end. I don't know. I'm conflicted because it's Ronaldo. But Alex, last thoughts on Group H, if you can, please.
Yeah. Sorry to chat too much again on Ronaldo, but I think it all just does come to that down to this situation, and I think, like, to be honest, right, I think Portugal. This is probably Portugal's best squad overall since probably like 2006 or something, when you had like a young Ronaldo with Figo and Rui Costa and people like that. So I don't want to say that it all relies on Ronaldo, but I think that maybe I'm reading too much into these little videos that we've seen, like of him, that awkward hello with Bruno in the changing room.
And Cancelo in training.
Cancelo on the pitch. The Bruno one, I thought, okay, well, obviously it's a United thing that, but then you've got Cancelo who plays for
Dallo as well. Dallo as well on the exercise bikes. He was trying to talk to him, and Dallo was just like blanking him completely.
Exactly. So this is Ronaldo, like Portugal. He is the man, innit? Like he's the leader and he's the captain and all these things, and he's the talisman. And now you're going into a World Cup where, like I said, I do think overall it's probably the best squad they've got. But this is a massive thing now to throw into it, and I think they've got to play it carefully. And it's whether or not, like you have mentioned, whether the manager will have sort of the balls to make a tricky decision if it needs making. But I don't.
And you imagine even that decision itself, Alex, will cause a bit of controversy. If he takes Ronaldo off like 60th minute, 50th minute, you know what's going to happen. Yeah. You know exactly what's going to happen.
Piers Morgan will be calling him again. Another interview.
Fancy another interview. Oh, it'd be Logan Paul or something ringing him up. Fuck me. Just last quick fire. I just yes or no answer. Don't go into detail, please. Adam, does Ronaldo have a good World Cup? Yes or no?
No.
Alex?
No, definitely not.
Dan?
Yes.
I knew he'd say yeah. Sam?
Holding on.
No, definitely not.
I think he murders it. I think he does well. And everyone's like,
should we go?
I can understand it though. It does make sense, like, because of this whole, like, so now he's getting away from United to then
it's
go
set up,
and it's he's never won the World Cup. This could be his last one, and blah blah blah. It would make sense for him to go and then fucking go and win it.
Yeah,
be top goal scorer or whatever. But I don't know. I think I don't want to say anything too controversial, but honestly, he's just not. Oh God, He's not good enough, lads. He's not who he used to be.
Yeah, no, we know that.
No, I agree.
We've said that many times.
Exactly.
It's not controversial. Definitely not controversial. He's got one goal in 10 games. Exactly. So it's not controversial at all. Please, Adam, we've discussed this before. Let there be a Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo final, please. Argentina versus Portugal. My God, I would love that. I would kill for that. Sam, was there one thing you wanted to say before we get into the Golden Boot discussion?
No, I thought I didn't know you were going to do it because we're running over. I didn't know if you were going to do all the other bits, but if we're doing it,
we're going to quickly fire through them now. So, Golden Boot, who's top scorer?
Quick fire.
It's tough.
No, it's just
tough. It's tough.
Whoever comes to mind.
Messi.
Okay.
Good shout. It's a good shout.
Messi was my shout, to be fair. But do you know what? I think Harry Kane could have a big time.
Oh, fuck off, Alex.
I honestly do. I do. Last one, he got the Golden Boot, didn't he? Did he not get the Golden Boot in 2018?
Yeah, but we have to make it to a final this time, and it's not happening, so...
Oh.
Let's see.
The positivity is raining off you, Sam.
I know. Neymar. Brazil.
Is Benzema fit to play?
Yeah.
I'll go with Benzema.
That's my shout. Benzema, I think. Or Benzema and Mbappe I was torn between, but I'll go with one of them. Dark horse. A team for dark horse again. Keep it quick if you can.
Denmark.
Yeah, Denmark.
Fucking hell. Everyone going Denmark.
Oh, it's boring, but it's true though, isn't it, man? They've just got that history as well of doing it in these tournaments.
Who do you agree with that, Dan, as well? Or did you say someone?
With Serbia.
Yeah, that's an interesting shout.
Yeah, there's a few. Like we said, there's Canada and the USA.
Qatar.
You took it off me. You took it off me. I was just about to say that, you bastard. You took it off me.
Well done.
Oh, well done.
Well done.
I was waiting for that moment. It's just about to go the dark horses, bastard.
Yeah.
Any potential breakout players? Do you think maybe these young talented players that are starting to come into form now?
Is the
unfortunately for Sam, Garnacho isn't going.
No.
Good shout. Yeah.
What was the German guy, Messiah?
Messiah. I don't fucking know. So
yeah, he's been
Jonathan David
as well.
Yeah. Valverde. That's another solid shout. He's been fucking phenomenal for Madrid. Absolutely phenomenal. And the last bit is the young player. Vinicius, can I say Vinicius? Okay, young player, isn't he? He's not been in like a big tournament before where he's only the past couple of years, so I think
we'll let you have it.
Thanks, man. Who has won the most World Cups? Quick fire World Cup trivia.
Brazil.
Correct. 5. Alex, straight out of the park there. Who scored the most World Cup goals? An extra point for the correct amount.
Miroslav Klose. 17.
Yeah. 16.
16.
16. So close. Which World Cup was the best one, in your opinion? So this isn't trivia, this is separate. In your opinion, which World Cup was the greatest? So I can give you a few examples if you want, if you can't remember.
I'll shout one out now. France 98. That's my favourite.
Very good shout. France won it, the first World Cup with 32 teams.
Yeah.
Beckham getting sent off.
Yeah.
You've got 2002 in Japan. Brazil won it. Had a high concentration of talent. Dan, Maldini, Henri, Xavi. And this is my point I was going to make, Adam. Do you remember what happened in that 2002 World Cup, by any chance?
Did Ireland qualify?
Roy Keane walked. Yeah. We were in Japan. I know Robbie Keane scored a late equaliser against the Germans, but Roy Keane didn't go to that tournament. He walked out on McCarthy, the manager at the time, and fell out with him. But potentially Ireland could have done relatively well had he gone. But I think my favourite World Cup, I wasn't even, in the ball sack at the time, was Italia 90. Ireland reaching the quarterfinals. So.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Italia 90 is the same for like any English person as well as the Irish person back then, because you did well. Obviously, we got to the semis. But if you actually look at it and you look at the stats and everything like that, Italia 90 is honestly the worst World Cup there's ever been. In terms of goals, in terms of exciting games, things like that, it was a shocker. But nostalgia merchants and all that, it's the best.
What about you? Is that the best for you, Alex, or have you got a different one in mind?
I mean, it's tricky for us, isn't it? Because we've never really done well
No, I mean in general as a whole, like not like I just mean the greatest World Cup ever. That's all I mean.
I mean, 2010, but 2010 was pretty good.
Yeah.
Can we talk about? Can we talk about the music for France '98 as well? Yeah, Chumbawamba, Tub Thumper.
Oh yeah,
What a fun! Exactly.
Again.
And then we had the.
Yeah, but in the 2010 song, we had fucking.
Wait. We had Singing When You're Winning as well. If you remember that, we'll be singing when you're winning.
Only boomers remember that.
Yeah. So and then you had the. I remember vivid in my memory the N64, the console with France '98 on the cartridge. I remember that fucking game. I played that to fucking death.
God.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Back in my day.
We had the ColecoVision. It was playing on a black and white TV.
It was called the Nintendo.
Yeah.
I'd go with 2010. Gosh, Shakira song. Is it Jubilee? I can't pronounce it. The football.
Yeah.
You had what's his name? Shabalala scoring that goal as well.
Diego Forlán, mate.
Hey.
Venezuela's everything.
I fucking hated that noise. By the end of after 2 weeks of just. Fucking hell.
Okay, last couple of questions. Sorry, Alex, to cut you in. Just cut for time. Who scored for England in the 90s?
You might cut out completely there, so I didn't hear a word.
Oh shit! Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah. Who scored for England in the 1966 final against Germany, West Germany?
Jeff Hurst and Mark.
Bobby Charlton.
Jeff Hurst.
Hat-trick.
Technically, though, one of the goals, if we were using goal line technology, wouldn't have counted. If we had goal line technology.
VAR in 1966, imagine it.
It was over the line.
I'm hearing he cheated. He cheated a World Cup is what I'm hearing. Can we redact this?
Who did Zinedine Zidane headbutt in the famous 2006 final?
Cannavaro. Oh, was it Materazzi? That was it. I thought it was Cannavaro.
Former Everton player.
Yeah.
And the last one. Which nation? Take that, you shit!
No, do you not remember the Family Guy clip where it's like, oh, Zidane's giving birthday telegrams and he knocks on the door with a birthday cake.
Oh yeah.
Bon anniversaire! Just nuts him and chucks the cake out and fucks off.
Last question, guys. Go on, Dan.
One more famous incident from 2010 World Cup is about that Suarez handball against Ghana.
Yeah, no, that's what I said.
Oh shit! Yeah. Wow, I forgot about that.
Amazing.
Which one was where Van Persie scored that header?
2014.
That was Brazil.
Yeah, 2014.
Was that Brazil?
Yeah.
Ooh, the Flying Dutchman.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Right. Which nation is the only one team to participate in every tournament?
England.
Brazil.
France.
Germany.
You've all said different fucking ones.
It's definitely not England.
That was perfect. The way you synchronised, you went England, Brazil, France, Germany.
It's not
Brazil.
It's Brazil.
It's Brazil. Yeah. Alex has fucking smashed that out of the park. Well done. Congrats. You don't get anything for winning. Just
Are we picking the winners? Who we think we're gonna win the World Cup?
Yeah. That's what we're going to end on.
Go on, Nick.
What do we think?
You go first, Nick.
I don't want to go first. I want to go last.
We all got first last time, so you got to go first this time.
Dundalk.
Okay. Sligo.
No, in all seriousness, oh man,
England.
Fuck off.
No, I don't think England. I think
Brazil in it. I think
Brazil. I think. I know it's like they're the favourites, but they're the favourites for a reason.
I'll say Argentina. Messi finally gets his World Cup.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
Ronaldo's definitely hitting up Piers Morgan if Messi wins the World Cup. 100%. Adam, who's your pick?
I think Brazil. If they have a favourable run. I think isn't the route to the final already made? Like the winners of this group will play that group.
Yeah, I think so.
You could get a Brazil Argentina semi-final if they win. So.
And you'll get a Nick semi if England make it to the final.
Yeah. Dan, who are you picking?
I'll go with France.
Alex?
Did you say Brazil?
So, yeah, Argentina or Brazil, one of them.
Has the team ever defended World Cup?
Good question. No, because Spain won the Euros, then the World Cup, then was it the Euros again?
Yeah.
Euros, yeah.
Yeah, so it wouldn't have been thing there. No, I don't think they have.
I don't think it has.
I don't think so, no.
It's Brazil years ago.
Yeah, so if France do it, obviously, in this World Cup, which is on Sunday, believe it or not, as I said at the start, the tantalising fixture with Qatar and Ecuador, it's going to get bums off seats. It's going to be an absolute magnificent showdown. There's going to be so much money thrown at Ecuadorian players. It's going to be like a strip club. It's unreal. Thank you for your time, lads, on the World Cup countdown show. It's been hilarious. It's been serious. It's been analytical, and I've enjoyed it. So each individually, Adam, thank you for coming on, even though I've been slagging off Ireland for most of it.
I don't mind. We won't get sunburned anyway, so happy days. But I'm looking forward, despite everything going on. I can have a beer during the day as well, an excuse to day drink. Yeah. So.
Absolutely, that's what the World Cup's all about. Alex, great to have you back on. I'm sure you're going to be joining us for song. Is that correct?
You cut out again there, mate. Did he cut out for everyone else?
Yeah. You join us for lots of shows.
Okay.
What we'll do is we'll get the Real Reds Talk shirt, and you can hold it in a signed picture outside Old Trafford. Yeah, I'm sure the Evertonians will be pleased with that. And thank you, Dan, for coming on as well. Appreciate it. It's really good to have you back on. It's been a minute.
Yeah, happy to be back.
Good stuff. Get some sleep, because I'm sure it's about 2 a.m. there. Apologies for that. Slightly overrun. Sam, as always, it's a pleasure, mate.
Yeah, I'll see you in 40 minutes.
40 minutes.
40 minutes time.
Yeah, to break down this Ronaldo interview. My God, what you do for content, eh? Yeah, thanks, guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Like the video, make a donation to our Movember page if you would like to. The link is in the video description. And follow us on social media. Just type in Real Reds Talk, and you'll see plenty more of us, especially in 40 minutes' time when we cover the Ronaldo stuff. So, yeah, take care. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.